my camera app. Actually, I'm really excited because I like this camera app more. I don't like
Is this an app for your camera?
well, when you look at the software, because a camera's a camera, like it's parts.
Yeah.
Each phone has the software inside that actually utilizes the camera.
Right.
On Android, you can change that tool because it's Android, it's open base. So it's like if you want the Google software, you can just download that camera. And that's the thing with like Apple. Apple's great because it's like, hey, you just want a thing that works and it's like a thing and there's no customization about it. Like this is it.
Right.
You're like, yes, I want that.
That's me. It's easy.
But I don't want
comes with it.
and I don't want to pay that much money though for a phone.
I know.
Which
everybody.
the iPhone SE though, that's taking a lot of Android users apparently because it's like $400. It's like a cheap way to get into.
What is that? SE?
Or not the S. It might be the SE. It's like the new. They made a new cheap version
Of an SE?
of the
What
iPhone.
number is that?
I think it's the iPhone 11 SE or whatever. I don't.
Oh, there's another SE.
I'm not paying that much attention. All I know is they made an updated version of like the iPhone 6.
Right.
Like they took it looks like the iPhone 6. They just took it and put the new chips in it and stuff,
Uh-huh.
and then sold it, and it's doing pretty good because people want an iPhone, but they don't want to spend $1,200.
Correct. They don't. Yeah,
So-
I know, like a flip phone too.
We all want the flip phones. All right, today's story time.
Story
We don't
time.
usually sit this much,
Story time. I don't sit
but
ever,
this was
and I
something
still won't sit
that's
still.
something that interested me.
I'm sitting on a ball. You can't see that shit. What the heck?
We're kinda sitting on a
Jumping
ball.
up and down, but I look like I'm jumping up and down. You know.
I hope my mic's pretty good enough to pick all this up. What if we're
Do you want
talking
to
too
stop
quiet?
for a second? Because I can talk louder.
No, we're just kind of talk normal. If it doesn't work out, we just skip it. You know what I mean? We just won't post it.
Nah, I mean, okay.
You don't mind that anyway.
I don't mind.
I want to talk
I
about,
don't
and we've already spoken this a little bit, like your first like couple years of training. Why?
I was so
Is that me?
No,
Are
that's
you
me.
getting called?
I never get calls.
You never get calls.
That's on that other phone too. I don't even know who that is.
What, can you cancel
No.
it? Okay, then just leave it be. We,
Now.
you click like their power button. That's what you would do. If you click your power button, it'll stop ringing. Wow.
Sorry.
I didn't even know that phone had a ringtone.
Yeah, it's a creepy one.
It is kind of creepy. It's ominous.
That's what it is.
All right.
I won't say what it
Your
is.
first few years of training, like where you started, you know, what were you doing?
Gymnastics. Well, actually, I went on both teams. I went into a gym period because my parents, I was hyper.
You were hyper.
Gather that. It's not
Are you
hyper.
shocked?
I was not as much hyper. I just was very active.
Okay.
And I had no fear. So I was in trees most of the time because right away I'd go outside and go up in the trees. And that's how I also kept away from other kids. If you tried to come up the tree, I broke branches as you were coming up, so you couldn't get to me.
Maybe you should talk like that.
Because I could go from tree to tree, from tree to the roof of a house. Like this parkour stuff. Yeah, I was doing this like a long time ago. This
Before
was
it
my
was
life.
cool?
Before it was cool.
Before it
yeah.
was cool?
Yeah, so what happens was they were like, okay, she's gonna get in trouble, like, because I'd see something on TV, and I just tried to do a flip or something in the pool, a flip off the couch, so they put me in gymnastics, but I started gymnastics and tumbling, and did both, because I really liked the pit, and the trampoline stuff, you know, like that, but then I liked the bars of gymnastics, so, of course, and I excelled at both, and then both coaches were like, she has to make a decision, because on the weekends, I'm competing and then I'm going to run into the meets, you know, it's like they're running into each other. So I picked the bars because I like the bars, so I picked gymnastics, even though I hated the beam and I hated the vault, but I was very good at the beam because I'm very calm and I can balance very well on anything. So I picked gymnastics, so that's what I was doing. So I was up.
And poles are like the things where you're flipping around, there's the two poles.
The unevens, so the uneven bars for the gymnastics
Wow.
where they go and then they hook their hips and then, you know, you do that stuff. Yeah, that was me. You know,
Wow.
you do like a flip and then I come off of it and this whole half of my hand and this half of my hand lifted up and I flipped it open and then they spray very stingy stuff in that to make it heal. If you're doing training that much, I ripped my hands open.
Jeez.
Yes, and that was
See,
like as a kid. I remember running from the gym, I'm fine, don't spray me. And that's what happened. And then I'd go to school and my hands were wrapped like Rocky and other kids were looking at me like, you're weird. But I was an athlete. Like I was already in training 3 hours at night. I never really got up with the sun because I'm already up and going. And you understand, like stuff like some of these athletes when they say, oh my gosh, they're going crazy once they hit 18 and then the Olympics and all, they went to Vegas. Well, you don't understand when you guys are in high school and you're going to parties, like I'm training. I was bringing chicken and
you didn't
rice
do any of
and
the fun.
food. Yeah, even like brownies, Girl Scouts, summer parties. I had my own food that would be heat for me, and they heat it up, and I wouldn't eat all the little cereal boxes you did in the morning. I'm passing those, and I didn't eat that. And kids are like, "What's wrong with you? What's wrong with you?" So we were told team A.
Do you remember when Michael Phelps got caught smoking weed?
Yep.
That was so funny, and I'm like,
I know.
that's a pretty low,
Yeah,
low,
exactly.
low call. Like I feel like I've seen some of those kids almost like die the next
I know.
day after Olympics.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly.
They all go
So-
partying because they know they got 4 years left to train again.
Right, it's true.
It's
And
like
that's
take 2
what
days off.
Yeah. So I've always like been on the diets, and they pretty much, and they didn't do it like through like skinny fat, that kind of stuff. It was trained to us right away. Be a eat like a winner, eat like a loser. That's what it was. You want to be on team A, you want to be like an athlete, then you treat it like a machine. You want to eat pizza and chips and soda and that kind of stuff. Well, then go be with your friends and just hang out on the weekend and watch TV or something. But you want to be on here and you want to function with us, then you're gonna eat the right way. So
Did you have anyone on your team that was like kind of at the same level at that time?
Yeah, there was quite a few. There was quite a few of us
Like,
that were all right there.
Did you guys
They
kind of
kept us
all
pretty close? Yeah.
And you guys just like hung out together because that's all you had?
You don't really hang out. You just like go to class and then you leave. Yeah, because we're
Yeah.
kids, our parents. Yeah, so it's like, and then I actually once I got through like junior high, it's a little bit different. Now you're kind of competitive with each other, and we're starting to kind of like grow and sprout and change. So they're trying to watch that. And then my freshman year, right when it finished, I gained almost 2 inches of height
Wow.
before my sophomore year. So I got too tall and I was awkward. And now they're like, she's done. Put her in figure skating. I don't like cold. So I like the outfits.
You don't like cold.
The outfits are really cool, but I have
Yeah.
anemia and stuff, so I didn't like the cold. I'm like, what? I can't do that.
For everyone that knows, I would say was it like 78 in here, 80,
Yeah,
and she's cold in here.
sweatshirt
Notice the
and Uggs.
I'm comfortable, but like a degree or more warmer, I'd be like, this is hot.
Yeah, no, I like my candles will melt when I place.
Which is funny because I'm an oven, and the more I've worked out with you, the more oven I've become.
Yeah.
My metabolism is going more and more.
Right.
It feels like you just get colder and colder.
Right, we got to get the body fat. The more it comes down, you'll start changing. You'll see.
Really? Is that what's going on?
Yes,
Okay,
it
keep
is.
in mind that.
Yeah,
That's right.
exactly. The more you lose
kidding.
the body fat, now you're not going to have any kind of coat, and you'll see.
But I like my coats.
Yes.
I like my coats.
Yeah, but that's so it's a different way of like thinking, and it's a way of like the athletes. Like when I train clients, they say, "Oh, you're being mean." Like, "Oh, you don't know me." Like we had like rulers that were hitting underneath our calves when we're in ballet and we're holding a leg up. It's like everything was like be the best, be the best, be the best, and it's against you, not someone else. And that's what I've mostly been in gymnastics. It's a team sport, because you kind of see them all pat each other on the butt, shoulders, and they go do their thing. But you can tell when a girl's going next, she's kind of off to the side. And a lot of times they're sitting like this, and they're just going over the routine. It's very different from like say football, basketball. It's like like
It's a full camaraderie thing, yeah.
Right, yeah. So it's a
You
little
rely on
different.
people.
So I've always been in sports where it's kind of just up to you. There might be a team score, but I've never been. Well, I know there's no I in team, but I've never been a team player. I had a hat that says does not play well with others.
But there is a winner, and that's who I am. I'm a winner.
Exactly.
Bitches.
There's an me in team, as Kobe said.
Me.
So that's always been different, and I had to learn that like when I got in the bodybuilding world, and I started competing in that, which I started right out of high school. Out of high school, I started lifting because I graduated high school at like 99 pounds at my height.
So you started lifting right
So
after
I started
that.
lifting immediately in
And
the
then-
gym
and
and got
that's-
interested, and then I did my first contest at 24.
Did you get interested in the contest in yourself, or was there like someone there like to motivate you to do contests?
No, I just like was building pretty good, and then was told that.
So someone in the gym was like, you should compete,
Yeah,
and then you
should
looked it
compete.
up.
Yeah, and then I looked it up and was like, okay, I can do it because I used to compete anyway. So.
Yeah.
And I did the bodybuilding first, but then the bodybuilding, I was told, of course, I needed to be very, very, very large, and I did not want to do the drug use that they tell you to do. So instead, they were like, didn't you say gymnastics? So that's when I went into fitness way back in the day when they didn't even have height classes. So I was like standing next to 5'3". I'm like 5'7" with high heels, and they like sneeze and they have abs. I was like, oh, trying to like flex everything. I'm like, gosh, she's like a power pit bull, jeez. And so then finally they had height classes. My second time of doing competing like local, like of California actually. So it was 5'3", and then and under, and then it was 5'4" to 5'6", and then 5'7" and up. So I was the Amazons, 5'7" and up. It was
Jeez.
way easier to judge, because the judging, it's like they get very biased, like, well, I like short legs or I like tall. So when they put us all together, it was easier. And that's when I did really well, and I made to go to the nationals.
Who are the
USAs.
judges?
Old bodybuilder and fitness people.
So
That's
they're
what's
all
hard.
just
Yeah.
previously.
Yep. And like in
Okay.
any sport where it's very subjective, it's like my dad. My dad became a race car driver, he said, and he did the drag racing where literally two cars go like this and a computer goes and takes the picture.
Yeah.
Because he said where there's humans, there's going to be error, where it's biased.
Yeah.
And that's what I've noticed. Back in my day when I competed, it was all about blondes. And then lately it was like now it's all brunettes. Now we got figure, we got fitness, we got all this stuff. And there was a lot of talk, before your show you go and you kind of hop out with like some of the judges and hang out and do dinner and stuff. Yeah,
try to like
that stuff. Yeah, help your scores.
Be political.
No, thank you. Yeah, so I didn't do that, but I did very well. Even though I didn't do that, I took top 5 in the USA's nationals. Over 300 girls. I got in Flex Magazine,
Nice.
Muscle Mag, Iron Man, and on ESPN.
Now, it's been I think a while now. Like, what was your last show? When you were 20?
Years ago. No.
28?
Yeah. So my last show actually was 27. That's my
27.
concussion.
So 20 years ago.
7 club. Yeah. So
Something like that. Now, do you still watch occasionally? Like, do you go and look and see what's going on, like who's winning or anything, or?
No, the most I'll do is now we have all social media. So on social media, I do have a lot that remember me during that time, and they follow me on Instagram, and I kind of follow them. So I do see, so I follow
That's
some
kinda cool.
people. So, and because I've helped some bodybuilders with posing routines, transitions, to make it smooth. So, and fitness. And a lot of them have seen what I've done in the past and now my modeling, so they kind of like that, like there would be a road coming
Afterwards.
afterwards. So, and that's kind of where I was when I was in my 20s, called Masters, which were the women that were 40 and up. They were backstage with us, and so they warned me about eating bad food, that I would do it because I was very lean already, and then I chose not to have kids, didn't do that route. So I've always been very lean, and through my 20s, 30s, when most people are drinking, I was very strict, and then all of a sudden I hit 40. And that little change that happens, with hormones and stuff, I lost 25 pounds at 39 without trying. And then all of a sudden I started getting shaky, and I was 160s, and I lost 25, and then I lost another 20.
Jeez.
So now I live on pizza and all kinds of bad food. And I can't
Well, I don't know.
keep my weight.
I don't know what else you do.
Yeah, it's just losing that muscle mass, and if you really think about it, like they call it menopause and all that stuff, but it's like some of those old ladies, I don't want to be those ones that sneeze and crack a rib. It's like, but you look at what you came from, and when I was a kid, that's what we said, I used to eat like a horse, and they're like, does she have a hollow leg? Like I could step on a scale, and they're like, what are you, like 100 pounds? And like right now, I weigh very much.
Yeah, she's heavier than she looks.
Tried to hoist me up one time.
She's by no means my weight, but she definitely has some girth. I can't deny it.
Yeah.
It's like, it's not even so much that you're heavy, you just don't look heavy.
Right, exactly.
You look like you weigh like 95 pounds.
Yeah, but the joke is always like, if you're by the pool and you're gonna pull me in, you better take 6 guys and
If
all
you
get ready
wanna-
to jump in together.
If everyone wants to get like a close range of her weight, you would take what I just said and you might not necessarily double it, but give it like another at least half.
Yes.
Like it's obscene. And then I did like one of these numbers, I was trying to like help her up
step
one
by
day.
my hand.
And like the first time I was like she used her weight and like I got pulled down. Like I lost like my control of my back. And I was like, all right, so you ever try to lift something and like you're not paying attention, all of a sudden like, fuck. And for the second time you go too much, and I remember I almost hit your head on the pole because like, all right, I gotta try. I fucking chucked her. I'm like, shit. Just.
Where'd she go? Oh, she's hanging
Oh,
up.
you train too hard. That is another thing, though. I kind of want to bring this up now because to me it's such like an important thing. Like the amount of things that I've hit now by accident and almost broken, just because I'm density counts when you start like hitting shit with your elbow.
Right.
I've hurt people.
Yes.
Because I've just like been not paying attention. Like I like arm checked them
Yes.
because I'm
So,
standing properly.
When you look at like Iron Man, the Hulk guy goes, "Oh, excuse me," it's true.
Yeah, dude fucking
It's
killed the
true.
dude just now.
You can. I do that. Yeah. Oh,
Oh,
what's that?
I've never seen a lag.
That's a good spot.